Greetings, beautiful people. You are listening to Outcast Radio Podcast from our studios in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Good morning, Mr. Tony. It's really a great pleasure having you here on our show today. My name is Dumo Khumalo, all the way from South Africa.
Hi, Dumo.
I'm representing the Open Space Foundation. I'm not alone though. I'm with my director, Peppa Peneva, and Peter Gwivaha, all the way from Tanzania. You are welcome, sir. First of all, Tony, can you please tell us more about yourself?
Well, I'm coming from a family of a musician. My father is, I could say, the most important composer for film and theater. So the music is in my surrounding from my birth, from the day of my birth. So it was actually, there was no another way for me but the way to go to the music. So I started at age of 5 with the piano and with all other things around the music theory and all these things. And then I continue with the Special School of Music, which is like a high school here in Bulgaria. And then I finished with the Bulgarian National Academy of Music. All this with classical music education. I studied actually only classical music. I never studied jazz. But meanwhile, I started playing in different bands, and I discovered that it's for me very interesting to play this kind of music connected with improvisation. So we formed a band called Acoustic Version. And with this band, we started achieving international success. We have many prizes. We have even a title, European Jazz Artist of '86.
Wow. I really acknowledge the profound musical background that you have, sir. I would like to hear something that you've done. Okay, can you go to that? And let's fill our ears with the rhythm.
And since then,
Yes.
I'm making different kind of bands,
Okay.
different kind of projects,
Okay.
including some world-known artists like Joe Lovano, Jerry Bergonzi, Tom Harrell, Kenny Wheeler, Kurt Elling, and many of the greatest names of today's jazz music.
Yeah, Tony, I'm aware that you're a versatile musician, but I'd like to know personally, which genre do you prefer composing?
Well, as I said, for me the most interesting thing is the music which is connected with improvisation.
Okay.
I don't dare to call it jazz
Yeah.
because actually of many faces of this word. For some people jazz is one thing, for other people is another thing. So for me it's better to call what the music which I play contemporary music with improvisation.
I have to admit that this is beautiful music. Great sounds, great sounds. I really respect your craft. I highly acknowledge it. I want to know, how is the Bulgarian audience reacting to the music or receiving the music?
There is no big difference here
Yeah.
compared to all other countries.
Yeah.
I mean, the people, maybe the small difference that the people here are still a little bit more hungry for this kind of music because of our communistic period, which was until 89,
Okay.
which was a period of a little bit, let's say, the period of not many artists from abroad coming in Bulgaria to play. And therefore, now it is, as I said, the people here, the audience here, looks a little bit more hungry for this music, which is actually, I could say, from one side is good, from the other side is not very good, because some people who are trying to organize here concerts and festivals are not very loyal. I mean, yes, they are looking only for the interest and for the business part, and sometimes even this is, I could say, even a speculation, which is not very good, because, as I said, people here are we don't have this kind of tradition like Western democracies, for example, and it is very easy to speculate with some names or with some terms, even, for example, with jazz. I mean, they could put a label jazz to a music which is very far from it, only because they think that they will earn more money when they advertise something like a jazz event. And here comes our responsibility. I mean, the people who are playing this music, to be honest and to tell the people where is the truth.
I totally understand, Tony. So I'd love to know, what's your view on the modern generation music?
Well, I'm very optimistic, because I think young people will find their own way, and still it's not very easy. It's not very easy. also because of this immediate information. I mean, you just click a button and you go to South Africa and you see what's going on there. And it's a bit confusing, you know. It's a bit confusing. That's why I think that young people should be prepared for this, which means that they should be really very high educated. They should know so many things to find the right way to play their music.
I understand that you're a music conductor as well for one of the biggest bands here in Bulgaria. So I'd love to know, what challenges do you encounter in all of this? And how are you able to juggle these projects? I mean, your solo project and the band as well.
You have to know how to work with people, which means that this job is a little bit psychological thing, you know, because everyone comes here with his own problems. So you should know how to treat with this. Of course, for me, the most important, which I learned from this job, is that for a good musician, you have to bring him good music, and then the musician is happy. That's the main goal. I mean, if you bring good music for the good musician, you will achieve great results, which is not very easy actually, because it's connected again with money. Good music costs more, you know, and this is actually my main goal here, to make the balance between our budget, which is not very high, unfortunately, and bringing great musicians here. Till now, I'm really very satisfied because we had since about 10 years, which I'm leading the big band here. We had really fantastic, world most known jazz musician here as our guests and soloists.
Now, Tony, you've worked with iconic artists from various parts of the world, and you've achieved a lot. But out of all that, what is the biggest highlight of your career?
Well, I hope it will come soon. I will commit. It's in the near future, you know. Well, I told you about all these things which happened before. We won the most important competition for jazz musician. But as I told you, I think the best will come in the future. It means that I'm very optimistic, right?
Very optimistic. Tony, we can't dispute the fact that you're a legend, you're a veteran, and most of all, you are an icon. You've been in this industry for more than 3 decades now, and you're still going. It's been a journey. So, what advice can you give to the young upcoming generation of musicians?
My advice could be only one word, actually.
Yes, sir.
Work.
That's
Work. That's
okay.
work, and okay, I will spread it a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
Work and listen open-minded.
Okay.
Because listening is actually, we rely, the musician, we rely on our ears, what we hear. it's very important because it is many people are listening to the music,
Yes, sir.
but not that many hear.
Oh.
You know, this is a difference
Yeah, definitely.
to listen and to hear.
Yes, sir, most definitely.
So it is very important for a musician not only to listen to the music but to hear.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So how do you market your music?
Well, it's a tough question, man. I'm a very old-fashioned guy.
Okay, sir.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this is one of maybe my biggest problem, that I don't know exactly what to do
Yeah.
with my own projects.
Okay.
This is the truth.
Okay, sir.
I'm very old school
Yes, sir.
in this part of my life, and actually when I try to see myself from a side,
Yes, sir.
I see a guy who sits at home, works, and is waiting for the phone to ring and somebody to call him to play somewhere, or to receive an email with Mr. Dunchev, we want to invite you.
Okay, sir.
Today it's different times today.
Yes, sir.
One should be prepared to really put a lot of effort to advertise
Yes, sir. That's true.
what he's doing.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, I'm not doing this to myself, to my music. You know, in Bulgaria,
Yes, sir.
maybe we really need people who are really very good in management. You know, this is still a problem here in Bulgaria.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A really good manager who is who can understand the music and who is really into the music which is important for the generations, not important only for today.
Yeah.
I mean to make money with this music immediately for now, but to think about what is going to be tomorrow. Because the real music, the serious music,
Yes, sir.
actually in terms serious, I'm not putting the music which is only classical music, only, you know, also some pop music could be serious music also.
Yeah, depending on the quality.
Yes. And, you know, we need managers who could think about this, that the music should give more to the generation, to the people, not only to make them dance,
Yes, sir. Yes.
not only this, or, you know, to... okay, let's say that the music should educate people.
Yes.
Sometimes the music should really touch people very, very, very deep into their souls, to make people think about things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What sets you apart from other musicians? What is it that makes you unique?
I don't know.
Take your time. Take your time.
I don't know really. I never thought about this.
Okay.
This actually, I think that there are so many musicians which they just think the same like me.
Okay.
So I don't know what is unique
Shoot
about
us
myself.
now dance.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good question for the audience. I understand that you compose music for theatrical plays
Yeah.
and films. So how's that entire experience for you?
Well, it is really very, very interesting and very different for making music only for the music.
Okay.
Because when you make music for films or theater, in many cases, music just stays in the background and helping the action of or the plot which is in the theater or movie to receive more deep, to go to more deeper stage, That's the main difference, and it's very interesting because it gives me another point of view for the music, and for me it is very interesting when the music is connected to other arts, It's very, very, very interesting.
Now, Mr. Tony, as a young African musician, it would be my greatest honor to collaborate with an artist of your caliber. So I want to know, is there any opportunity for African artists to work with you?
Sure, of course, immediately, of course. The music is, I think, the only unique question on the earth which could bring people together very easily. There is no other way to bring people together and to make people understand each other better than the music.
Mr. Antony Dunchev, we thank you for your time. We highly appreciate it. May God be with you. May God bless you in your career. On behalf of the Open Space Foundation, we give thanks.
Thank you. God bless you too. Thank you.
This program is supported by European Union through its project FIRE, from idea to reality and execution.
Now give it up for regulators, everybody know we ain't just a corner. Kalabantwana ngathi sisaleba war. Got so many papers, goddamn, and telling throw we love my girls, so she says all of course I rank higher than you. I got some honey's body rasta parallel. My gang about Antwana unga. She love my treatment, so I gave her my dose. As soon as I drop a stick, she open up like a Moses. Hold it, we do it, they make shots and homeless. Live a book, they know this.